Hey guys, what's up? My name is Clifton, and today we're going to review a budget whiskey that I have avoided for the longest time. So I am a sucker for good marketing and good bottle designs. Before I really got into whiskey, I would just walk down the liquor store aisle, pick out a cool bottle, try it out. Obviously, that didn't work in my favor most of the time. But now that I've gotten more into realizing that there's a lot more to whiskey beyond the label, I tried a few things that the label itself is kind of ugly, to be honest. I mean, one of my favorites is Evan Williams 1783. It's a budget bottom shelf whiskey. It's like $14, but the label is absolutely atrocious. It looks like one of those like flavored like orange liqueur or whatever. It just doesn't look like a whiskey. So another one that I've always seen on the shelf, but I've never picked up a bottle is Fighting Cock. So as you can see, this label is not the most attractive. I've seen this on the shelves and it kind of caught my eye because I'm from South Carolina and like Gamecocks were a thing. So at first I thought it was like a local thing. But what's interesting is this is by Heaven Hill. The same people that put out Elijah Craig, the same people that put out Henry McKenna and Evan Williams. But actually, this is their direct competitor to Wild Turkey 101. As you can see, it's 103 proof. It used to be 6 years age stated, but they actually removed that in 2015, I believe. But it's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It uses the same mash bill they use across their brand. Let's go ahead and pour some Fighting Cock. I could make a lot of jokes about this name, but I'm going to resist. Keep your cocks to yourself. That's all I got to say. So on the nose, this is really interesting. I want to say pecan pie. It's like a pie filling, but also like the pie crust. It's like there is some brown sugar in there, but it's not like that like deep dark oaky flavor I've come to expect from the brand, from Heaven Hill, which I mean they have like so many different brands, so I mean I guess that makes sense. But it's weird that it's from the same mash bill. To me that's the most surprising thing. It's really sweet, but it's also not like generic bourbon sweetness like the Evan Williams gives me. It definitely smells unique, and I can't think of anything else from their lineup that smells like this, which is interesting. So let's give it a taste and see if it tastes like anything else they've released that I can compare it to. What? Nothing like any other Heaven Hill product I've ever had. I literally, if you told me this was from Jim Beam and like this was like a release from the Jim Beam distillery, I'd 100% believe you because this is so nutty and I love that nuttiness I get on a lot of Jim Beam products, especially their Distiller's Cut. That's my favorite. With the Jim Beam label, Distiller Cut is my favorite. It's about the same price as this actually. If you told me this was Distiller's Cut, the only thing that I feel like this doesn't have that has is there's not as much oak on like the finish. The finish is very similar and I guess I would say one-dimensional. It's really nutty though. I've never gotten that on a Heaven Hill product. It's really nice on the palate and it actually does remind me a lot of the nose. I guess I wasn't looking for that nuttiness in the nose based on just my experience with Heaven Hill and their other products. But you know what? This would be a really good one to try head-to-head with some Jim Beam products. So I'm going to go grab my Jim Beam Bottled and Bond, which is almost the same proof, and let's compare them side by side. So I just poured myself a glass of Jim Beam Bonded. I actually got this on sale for $14, but it's normally around $18 to $20, about the same price range as the Fighting Cock. And I'm going to go ahead and compare it directly because so far, just based on, it's been a while since I've tried this one. I've been using this a lot in cocktails. They're very similar. So let's see. So the nose on the Jim Beam is not as complex for sure. It kind of smells like, I think a lot of Jim Beam products, like their like budget line of products, all really have the same nose. It's really sweet and you do get a little bit of nuttiness, but it's not that like dark brown sugar note that I get on the Fighting Cock. But I'm going to go ahead and taste it just to see because I mean it could be completely different. It's been a while since I've had this one, so. It's nutty, absolutely, that is nutty. But that's like, the Bonded, especially the Bonded, have you ever had those peanuts that are like, they're still in the shell, but they're like salted or roasted or whatever? We used to bring them down to the beach with us when I was a kid, because we could just throw the shells in the sand. But that reminds me of that like, kind of like a chalky, I say chalky, but there was like a powder on those. I guess it was probably from the salt or whatever. But like a salted peanut. Whereas the Fighting Cock, it's more of like I said, like a pecan pie or like a roasted nut or like a honey roasted something. It's definitely not that peanut note. This is definitely a different type of nuttiness that I've never experienced on a bourbon. So that's really cool. I gotta say, you know, for $16 to $18, give Fighting Cock a shot because it's different enough that maybe you're gonna pick up certain notes on this that you like better than like Evan Williams and Elijah Craig. This might become your go-to, either, I mean, I think it's great on its own, but this would probably make really good cocktails too. I'm actually looking forward to making like an old-fashioned with this because I love like 103 proof. That's like the perfect proof for a good bourbon forward cocktail. So for the price, I absolutely recommend picking up a bottle. Not sure that this one's going to take off quite as much as like Henry McKenna 10-year or anything. But you know what? While this lasts at that price point, definitely pick it up. It could be your new favorite. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, I have a playlist at the end of this of my other whiskey reviews. And if you're new here, I would love if you could subscribe. It would really mean a lot. So I'll see you guys next video. And until then, I'm here to help you drink good whiskey. Cheers.